Hi everyone, in this video we're going to walk you through all of the functionality of the vendors and purchase order system. Using purchase orders you can automatically replenish your inventory based on items you acquire from vendors. Now both the incoming and outgoing inventory are managed in a very similar process. Your outgoing inventory is managed through the items you sell in your menu editor. Your incoming inventory is handled through purchasable items that you acquire through vendors. So the first thing that we have to do is you have to create an inventory item to represent the item in your stock. So in this case, we've already gone ahead and created a couple of existing items. So here we have a couple bottled drinks, Cokes and Sprites, and we have 60 of each in stock. And then we also have created a raw ingredients category, and we have pizza cheese at 40 pounds in stock there. So what we have to do now is we have to tie usage quantities of these items into your menu items as well as your purchasable vendor items. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a couple of purchasable vendor items to show how these items arrive into your inventory. So the first thing you want to do is click on the vendors tab here at the bottom, and it'll bring up your list of vendors. So in this case, we're going to say we're acquiring our pizza cheese through the vendor Cisco. So we're going to select them in the vendors list and then click on purchasable items. The next thing you have to do is you have to create an item that represents the item that's being purchased through Cisco. So this works very similarly to a menu item. It's just a much simplified version of it. So what you want to do here is go new item, specify a name for it. So in this case, let's say we're receiving the pizza cheese in 20-pound cases. So we'll say 20-pound pizza cheese. Okay. And you can optionally enter a price as well. So let's say this is $40 for the pizza cheese. Okay, so now that we have an item that we can acquire through Cisco, what we can do now is specify inventory quantities for this item. So what you're going to do is click on this inventory usage button here, and that is going to bring up the ingredient usage editor right here. And what this allows you to do is specify quantities of items in your inventory that are being used for your purchase items from your vendors. So what you're going to do here, click on Add New, and it's going to just create a new item. Now what you have to do is select the inventory item. So in this case, since this is a 20-pound block of pizza cheese, we're going to select pizza cheese and set the weight measurement to pounds. And now if there was multiple sizes of this purchasable item that we're setting up here, we could set up different quantities for each size. In this case, since we only have one size, it's the default size here, so you're just going to enter 20, and so that's specifying a 20-pound quantity of pizza cheese is what this item is. So now if you happen to be receiving some sort of item that contains multiple ingredients in one package of some sort, you could specify multiple items to be included in this. In this case, we're just doing one item first, which is typically what you'll deal with when replenishing your inventory using purchasable items. So I'm just going to go ahead and click the Done button here. Okay, so we've created our purchasable item here under the Cisco vendor, and that's the 20-pound pizza cheese. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new purchase order and acquire that item from a vendor. Now, at this point, when you acquire an item from a vendor, you're not the software will not directly communicate with the vendor. You have to call everything in, but this gives you a means to easily keep track of the incoming inventory into your store. So what you want to do is select the vendor, and then click on this new tab here, and then you're going to click Itemize Purchase Order. Okay, so that'll bring up the purchase order screen right here. So what you're going to do is select the item from the vendor that you're purchasing. In this case, we're purchasing the 20-pound pizza cheese vendor item. We're actually going to do 2 of these to show how the quantities will affect it. So once you're done, you can complete the order. And now the vendor item we've just created is now awaiting submission. So we're going to go ahead and so now the vendor item. Okay, so the vendor order we have just created is now awaiting submission. And what that means is that you're awaiting the vendor. So now we've created this vendor order, and now you see here the status says awaiting submission. And what that means is that the vendor we've created the list of items that we're acquiring from the vendor, but we have to actually call them into the vendor or email the vendor. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click submit, and that'll prompt for the method of submission. So what you're going to do is, if we're calling, let's say we're calling the order in by phone, we would click submit by phone. It'll give us the phone number for the vendor. You call up the vendor, place the order, and if the vendor says that all of the items are available, and they can tell you the status of the items immediately on the phone, you're going to go ahead and click confirm. If they have to get back to you, you'll hit cancel at this point, and then you can confirm it later. So in this case, we are going to go ahead and confirm the order. So what we're going to do is click the confirm button here, and what this prompt here is asking is this sort of the status of the confirmation. So if the vendor has said, yes, we have all of these items you're requesting in stock, and it's available on the date that you're requesting, we're going to click confirm for same date. If they say it's going to come on a different date, but everything will arrive, then we're going to click confirm for other date. And if only some of the items can be confirmed, you're going to click partially confirmed. So just to show how the partial confirmations would work, if you click on that, now it lists the 2 items we added into the purchase order, and this third column over here will allow you to specify the status of the confirmation for each item. So in this case, you're just going to click select one or multiple items, click on this available tab, and then it'll give you 3 options: either the item's available, it's out of stock, or it's discontinued. So you can optionally do all. It's not going to require you to specify all of the items, but it'll give you a status that's not fully confirmed until you actually have finalized all these items. In this case, we are going to go ahead and just confirm both of these items, and then at this point, it knows that the whole order is confirmed, so it's just going to say, "Are you done?" Click yes. Okay, so now this whole order has been confirmed as being available from the vendor. So if you notice now, it says the status is now awaiting receipt. And what that means is that the next stage of the purchase order is accounting for the incoming items. So what this will allow you to do is, once it's arrived from the vendor, if all the items are there complete as you ordered them, you would click receive complete. And if some of the items have arrived but others haven't, or some are wrong, you would click this received incomplete. So we're going to do this. We're going to do the received incomplete option just to show you again. This brings up the same exact screen that we just used for the confirmations. So what you want to do for each item is go ahead and specify the arrival status of it. Now, the third column specifies the availability as it's been confirmed with the vendor. The final column specifies the arrival status. So for each item, we're going to go ahead and specify again that both of them are received, but you can say that they're received inaccurate, and it will allow, or they're not received, and it will allow you to remove those from the vendor order. So we're going to go ahead and click received. Okay, so and again, it knows what the status is now. So now the order's been finalized, it's been received, and now at this point, since we've created a purchase order with with items that have inventory in them, since this order has now arrived, the items that were in this order are now have been added to our inventory. So if we click on back over to the inventory panel here and click on our pizza cheese, again, so we ordered two 20-pound blocks. We previously had a 40-pound, we originally had a 40-pound stock of the cheese. We've just added two 20-pound packages of the pizza cheese. So now we're at 80 pounds total. Okay, so that about sums up the vendor order process. Be sure to check out the menu editor side of this, which handles your outgoing inventory and depleting your inventory. Thanks for watching. Bye.